K-State Culturally is virtual programming centered on celebrating, uplifting, and educating the Wildcat community through the lens of communities of color connected or affiliated with Kansas State University. Well, hello and welcome to K-State Culturally, brought to you by the K-State Alumni Association. My name is Jessica Elmore, and I'm the Associate Director for Diversity Programs for the K-State Alumni Association. And I have two wonderful alum with me today. We're going to be talking about corporate match giving. Both of these individuals have given of their time to K-State and their treasure. And so we're just going to have a nice little chat today about that experience and just corporate giving in general. I have Kelly Williams and Zach Maier with me, and I'd like for you both to introduce yourself and tell me about your K-State journey, how you became a Wildcat, and what you currently do as a profession. Who'd like to go first?
Okay, I'll take it.
Sure.
So again, I'm Kelly Williams, and I attended K-State, Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology with a minor in Women's Studies. My journey to K-State. So K-State is Kansas's home, and definitely when my parents and I were having a discussion of where I was going to go to college, in-state was their goal. So a little further away from home was mine from Kansas City. So K-State really just felt like home when I visited. So it was only the natural fit to choose K-State. And currently I work for BNSF Railway in the Human Resources Department.
Wonderful. Zach?
Awesome. So my name's Zach Maier. So I graduated from K-State back in 2009 with a degree in computer engineering. K-State for me was very much a family thing. So both my parents went to K-State. They both graduated with degrees in accounting. They met in the accounting program at K-State. And then, so of course, when I was a kid, that meant I wanted to go to KU because I was in my rebellious phase. But then as I got into high school and started to look at the different engineering programs, I just had some amazing experiences with with some of the deans in the engineering office and just the programs there. And so it kind of made it a easy decision to keep it a family thing and go to K-State. And then, yeah, I guess to add on to that, my sister then came to K-State 3 years later. So we're a full-on K-State family at this point.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then so right now professionally, so I actually just switched roles, which is kind of exciting. So previous to this, I spent 10 years at Google, and so we'll talk a little bit about Google, I think, as part of the corporate gift matching here. But currently, I work at Facebook here in New York, so working on the FRL team, so Facebook Reality Labs, building cool stuff for AR and VR at this point.
Ooh, that sounds like another topic to talk about. Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. So now, both of you have currently given of your time by sitting on boards and councils. Kelly, you were the chair of the Multicultural Alumni Council. And then Zach, you currently are a board member for our K-State Alumni Association. Can you share why you have chosen to give of your time in this way?
So as a first generation college student, I feel like it's important to stay connected to the university, to the students. Lots of folks gave of their time for me and making sure that I was connected while I was there, that I was engaged in what was going on at the university. And I think it's important to give time for those reasons. And then in all, as an alum, just being able to know what's going on at K-State and to be able to actually be a champion and cheerleader of some of the things that's going on with both alum and current students, I think it's pretty important. So that's why I give of my time.
Yeah, so when I was a student there at K-State, I joined a student alumni board, one of the programs the Alumni Association puts on to engage students and help them bridge with alumni. And so I got to know Amy, who's the president of the Alumni Association, and a bunch of the awesome folks who work at the Alumni Association as part of that. And then I graduated, and I kind of like disappeared off to the West Coast and the East Coast for 5 years. And I got a call from Nabiha and Amy about joining the Alumni Association board. I kind of joke about this, but like honestly, I didn't think I had the option to say no. Like I just like I knew both these folks so well, and I was like, I gotta say yes. But I guess more seriously though, I think you know what the Alumni Association does for K-State is just an amazing service. It's one of the best alumni associations, if not the best alumni association in the Big 12. And so being able to come back and then contribute to the same programs that I was in part of college, and then be able to help like lead that as the board of directors, which is a no-brainer decision. And it's just been fantastic being on the board so far as well. So get more engaged with everything on K-State. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and honestly, it's like one of those things I just couldn't imagine spending my time the other way. It's been an amazing decision.
Fantastic. Thank you for both sharing. So the purpose of today's conversation is to talk about giving financially and using corporate match giving as a vehicle. So now for our audience who may not be familiar with corporate match giving is where companies financially match donations that their employees make to nonprofit organizations. So Kelly and Zach, can you share how you learned about your company having a corporate match giving program and what made you decide to participate?
Okay.
You want to go, Kel? Yeah.
Can you go first?
We'll go to that. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I learned about our corporate match giving. BNSF is pretty huge in philanthropic opportunities, and so when they talked about the corporate match giving, it was really up there along with having a discussion about our benefits, so our health benefits. So I learned about it pretty early on, and since I was a part of some different organizations in undergrad, giving even then and even early on in life has been a huge part of what I've done since I've in life, period. And so learning about it only allowed me to double what I was able to do for the organizations that I gave to. And I say that, so for example, our corporate match giving program, BNSF at a minimum of $100 matches dollar for dollar up to $10,000. So it's like, if you have a passion about an organization and you want to give your finances to them, why not fill out the form to double what you're giving, right? And so very exciting program, really generous in the way that they match dollar for dollar, and it's like, how could you not participate, right? So that's pretty much it for me, as far as like in participating in the program.
Yeah, it was very similar for me as well. So over the past decade, I've worked at Google, and Google is a very philanthropic company, and it's had the amazing opportunity to work there. Not only does Google have the corporate match program, but they made a big deal about it internally. Like, it was hard not to know about the program, because there were big events on Giving Tuesday. Anytime there was a major event happening in the world, folks stopped what they were doing and there were special programs to match for that. But yeah, it's the same thing. So Google matched dollar for dollar up to a few $1,000s of being able to, whatever program that you want to do, donate your time and effort to, they would match it. So, I already started to do a little bit of giving to K-State, when I was a student, part of K-State Proud, the other things. And then being able to just fill out that form and then have Google donate money to K-State as well on my behalf was just I think, like Kelly, you were saying, just kind of like a no-brainer. You just fill out the form. It's like free money for K-State. Like, you do corporate philanthropy for your company. Like, just good things across the board.
So that kind of like lives in the human resource department. So it's like a form or something. Is that how it works?
Yes. So for us, the foundation actually, it lives within the foundation, but your human resources department at your company will be able to give you direction. So if you don't have insight on where to go, definitely reach out to human resources, and they can get you linked to who would house your form.
And then, like, is it something that gets like automatically taken out of your account, or like do you have to write a separate check? Like, how easy do they make it?
So for us, the form itself, it has a series of questions of who you're donating to. It outlines who it covers. So it has to be a 501c3 organization, nonprofit organization. And then they just ask you to take a picture of the check that you're sending, just proof of what you sent to that company. And then after you fill out the form and mail it to the foundation, the rest is, you've done your part. The company does the rest. The company matches the funds, and then the company also sends you notification that these are the organizations you supported this year, and this is what we matched this year, based on what you supported.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
They're very similar process at Google. So Google has their philanthropic arm, which is google.org, slightly separate from Google LLC. So it's run out of the foundation, the same as it sounds like it is for you as well. And then, yeah, just to reiterate, like, HR is a great place to start. Google has an internal portal with a ton of information online, as you would expect for a company like Google. You can search for corporate gift matching. I don't know if other folks have portals like that internally, but those are the first thing I did when I joined Facebook too. And like Facebook has a big program around Giving Tuesdays, which I plan to participate in this year as well. And so I think, like, I mean, depending on your employer, of course, but employers seem to make the information readily available. Yeah, definitely. And then it's just a very easy process. And so I know there are many different mechanisms that work. So at least at Google, I could do direct donations out of my paycheck. I could pick a certain amount per week to donate that would then be automatically matched. I could send a check in myself and then request a gift match. Google even has this additional program where you can donate time, and then they will make a cash donation to match the time that you spend donating for the company. So like, even if it's not just a straight up dollar for dollar match, I think companies will have many different opportunities to volunteer time, talent, treasure, whatever the case may be. So just, yeah, ask around and see if your company supports it.
Good. Sounds good. So as K-State alumnus donors, have you seen or experienced your gift making an impact through this corporate match?
Kelly,
go ahead.
We're already on a roll.
No, we have a natural rhythm here. I guess I'll go. So for me, I've seen, well, I will say I've had conversations about where the funds have gone. I specifically donate to the Alumni Association because of all of the amazing programming that's done for students currently, and also making sure that alumni are engaged and connected to the university. And so my passion is there. So that's where I send my funds. I make sure that they're directed. There is an absolute note in there on my account that they go to the Alumni Association. So I would say all the great things that you're doing, maybe a couple of my dollars have gone there. So.
Definitely.
So my family and I have been in a very fortunate position where I've had an amazing job for the last 10 years and been able to do all of the donation matching and corporate matching as part of that. So we currently have two endowed funds at K-State. So one is a scholarship, and then another is a fund at the Alumni Center. And the endowed scholarship, we set up the Maier Family Scholarship for engineering. And the target of that scholarship is to fund underrepresented minorities in the engineering field. So, so women in engineering, people of color in engineering. And I think the most exciting part of that is every time somebody gets part of that scholarship, we get a little note. So we get a note from the person, saying how it, made an impact on their school year, like the types of things they were able to buy with it, like how it just made life easier for them. And it's small, but like anything we can do to help push towards equality and equity, and especially in the engineering field, which has been a tough challenge for folks over the course of the last 20 years, is good. And so like those little notes are just fantastic, and even better to be able to stack that money for corporate match giving. And then the program for the Alumni Center. So it's brand new. I'm going to be working with Jessica and Amy and some other folks to figure out exactly what we want to do with this program. But my husband and I founded a fund for LGBT alumni excellence. So there are plenty of LGBT grads from K-State. We don't have any really well-developed programs for connecting LGBT alumni or connecting LGBT students to LGBT alumni. And we're hoping to help kickstart some of those processes and connect all those amazing people with that fund. So we haven't seen anything come of that yet, but I'm super excited for what's going to be coming over the next 5 years with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Exciting.
That is exciting. Okay, so for my final question, for alumni and friends who may be interested in participating in corporate matching, what are some tips and thoughts you would like to share as people start their journey?
So as they're identifying organizations that they would like to um, support financially, I would say reach out to your human resources department. I know we talked a little bit about that, but definitely reach out to your human resources department and find out if your company has a matching gift program, because like I said, it's just, it makes sense that if you're going to support someone financially, support an organization financially, why not be able to double that or whatever the amount is that your company provides, and just get some information about it and get started right away, because it's helpful for the organizations that you will support. It definitely, every dollar, every cent goes a long way.
Zach?
Yeah, so I mean, a few quick thoughts. So like if you are watching this and you are thinking about donating, the most important thing is just like get started donating. Like don't wait for the perfect opportunity, don't wait for the perfect organization. Like there are so many awesome things going on at the Alumni Center and at K-State that like, every dollar matters. So even if it's just like $20 or something that you want to take out of your paycheck, like that's the best way to get started, is just literally to take that first step and get started. And then like as you get more involved with donating to the Alumni Center or to Kansas State, the foundation, or to anything else, you have the opportunity, which I just found it amazing, to connect with folks at K-State again. So you can connect with your old college, you can connect with the programs and things that you cared about while you were in college, you can connect with the Alumni Association. There's so many amazing programs there. And then you can start actually putting your money to the programs that you care the most about. And so like get started, find the things that you care about, and then develop those relationships and build that connection back with K-State. And then if you can't, not everyone's going to be in this situation, but if you're in the situation where you can do estate planning or a large gift or something like that, there are amazing folks across the foundation and the Alumni Center who are excited to help with that, who can make the money work the way that you want it to work for new programs at K-State. And so there's just from the just getting started with a small donation to all the way towards like estate planning and some of these things that are like much bigger. Like there are so many awesome ways to engage, and so just get started with it.
Great. Thank you both for your tips and thoughts. So thank you, Kelly and Zach, for sharing your time and your treasure with K-State. We truly, truly appreciate it. If there are individuals out there who are interested in participating in corporate match giving and would like to select K-State as a nonprofit recipient, please go to the KSU Foundation website at ksufoundation.org, or you can email them by going to giving@ksufoundation.org. Or if you like to talk to a live person, you can call 785-775-2000. It's really awesome on their website. You can actually type in your employer's name and it can tell you if they have a corporate match giving program. So it can be pretty simple. I'm Jessica Elmore. Thank you so much for joining us for K-State Culturally. If you'd like to see more content, please go to K-State MAC, that is K-State MAC, on our Facebook page for more content. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Zach. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.